Okay, yeah. So, welcome back to the channel. It's very interesting doing this and talking about this area of the law and particularly with respect to how it affects businesses, how it affects practitioners in this area, and how it affects lenders and borrowers. Now, we're going to be talking about intercreditor agreements, and those who are very familiar with lending, borrowing, and those who play in the space of banking and finance law, we're very familiar with intercreditor agreements. Straight up, what is an intercreditor agreement? An intercreditor agreement basically, sometimes referred to as an intercreditor deed, is a document, an agreement signed between two or more creditors. Creditors are people who lend money to borrowers. And that agreement stipulates in advance how their competing interests are resolved and how to work in tandem in service to their mutual borrower. So there is one borrower, you have 2, 3, 4, or multiple lenders. In the typical scenario, there are creditors, who are in different creditors who are involved in an intercreditor agreement with the intention to set out their rights and to set out issues of priority. All right. Now, I'm going to give you a practical example of an intercreditor agreement. I'm going to use Company A as a borrower company. So let's say Company A is a contractor, and Company A has gotten a contract from the federal government to construct the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. For those of you in Nigeria, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway is a major road that connects Lagos State, Ibadan, and along the road you have different states. So it's a very important road. So company A gets a contract from the federal government to construct the road, and the project is going to go up a whooping amount of, let's say, $200 million. Now, the Company A, that's a contractor, puts in, let's say, $25 million of its own funds and gets some advance monies from the government, and it needs to borrow some more funds. So let's say, for example, the government pays it 25 million, it injects its own personal 25 million, so that's 50 million. So therefore it will need about 150 million as borrowed funds from different lenders. It may be difficult for one lender to lend that Company A $150 million. So what happens? Company A will have to reach out to lender A, lender B, lender C. All right. Now, Company A, in borrowing money from these lenders, will use its assets, sophisticated assets. All right. It uses its asset as collateral for the loan it's going to collect from these lenders. So if lender A, lender B, and lender C are looking up to the same assets belonging to Company A to secure its credit, the credit it is advancing to Company A, that means in the event of default, all of these lenders, A, B, C, will be looking up to the asset of borrower A, of Company A, that's the borrower. So it becomes very germane, very important for these lenders to have an agreement between themselves and set out issues of priority. So that priority, that is the intercreditor agreement, talks about who takes first, who is paid first, who has access to some of the collateral first, who is expected to have his loan or its loan liquidated first. Do you have an understanding of how that works now? So 3 lenders, 4 lenders, different lenders coming together to give monies to a borrower. But each of these lenders will have to make an arrangement between themselves on how they will relate with each other. So that's basically how the intercreditor agreement works, and that's why creditors get into an intercreditor agreement. It plays a pivotal role in the right to lien. It is therefore crucial for all the lenders involved to lay a solid foundation regarding their rights and the priorities in case of a borrower's financial capabilities, or in case the borrower's financial capability erodes and the borrower is in default. So let's say the borrower defaults. who is to and the asset is sold. So who is to be paid first from the sale of the asset used as collateral. The intercreditor agreement clearly sets that out. Sometimes you have challenges where you mean amongst the categories of lenders. So you have the senior lenders, you have the junior lenders. Even among the senior lenders, you may also have the super senior creditors. Do you understand? The super senior creditors. So when the super senior creditor exists, it means in terms of priority, in terms of ranking, the super senior creditor ranks higher than the senior creditors, and the senior creditors ranks higher than the junior creditors. So these creditors, all of them give out money to the borrower. So in this agreement, they set out their rights and how the relationship between them will play out. An intercreditor agreement has different clauses, both to protect the interests of the senior creditors, super senior creditors where you have one, and the junior creditors, junior lenders. So each agreement has to be carefully negotiated. So let's say your counsel or your legal representative for the junior lenders, you have to carefully negotiate on behalf of your client to ensure that their interest is protected and their rights are not totally eroded. All right. So in a subsequent video, we're going to be having discussions on the key clauses that are present in an intercreditor agreement, and how representatives of lenders and borrowers, of the lenders, of the creditors, should properly negotiate an intercreditor agreement so as to arrive at an agreement that will favor all parties. So I believe with this video you've had an understanding or some understanding of an intercreditor agreement and how it works. Further discussions, further videos, we give an in-depth explanation of what an intercreditor agreement means and how it plays out in the market. So just drop a comment in the comment section, like the video, and don't forget to please subscribe. For those who want to learn, you can also share with them so that they can also learn one or two things from this. Thank you.